cruising in my lane fast, call it high speed. I've been working hard, yeah, I've been working nightly. If you think you'll win, ha, not fucking likely. I be taking shots, yeah, cold-blooded, icy. Watching numbers grow is what I call sightseeing. In the front row, run it up when they hype me.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. In this episode, it's time to clean the carburetor. So we're going to be cleaning off this Quadrajet, and we're going to do it a little homeschool cleaning. We're going to be soaking it in vinegar for probably around 2 hours, and then we're going to pull it out and spray it down with some Spick and Span. And this kills bacteria and viruses, so that way we can make sure our carburetor won't catch COVID. But it also cuts through grease and grime, so we're going to spray that down. We'll let it soak for like 10 minutes in the Spick and Span, and then we'll start brushing it off, cleaning it. And then we're going to dip it in some water, rinse it real good, and then dry it off. Air dry it, blow out all the passages, clean everything. Then we'll spray a little bit of carb cleaner on top of that. You can go out, and purchase. They got everything for it: carb cleaner, B12 chemical cleaner, Chem Dip, but all that stuff costs a lot of money. I think this is going to work out just fine. We'll use a little bit of carb cleaner at the very end. This carburetor isn't really bad, but it's got a little bit of greenness to it. It's got a little bit of grime, some varnish from the bad gas that had been run through it. For the most part, it's kind of clean for the age. So we're just gonna do it this homeschool cleaning technique on it, and I'll show you the results when we get it all done. We're gonna soak a few of the small parts. Like here's the power piston. It looks pretty bad. I do have a new seal coming here, so I'm not really worried about this one. But we're gonna try to clean all the old bad out of it. Oh, we got a lot of green. I don't even know what they call it. Off of these needles, these rods. Hopefully the vinegar can break everything free of inside the passageways and everything. So let's get to it. We're gonna add a little vinegar first. We're just going straight vinegar. It's 100% white vinegar, distilled. We're gonna add enough to where it'll actually cover the carb. Let's just go ahead and put it all in there. That's 1 gallon, and this stuff's really cheap. You can get this stuff for like $2.99, $3 a gallon or so. We're gonna go ahead and all the rubber pieces are off. You don't want to slap anything in there rubber or plastic, because vinegar probably will do damage to that. I'm gonna put both pieces in. That'll pretty much soak there. We can throw these small pieces in with it. Let it all soak at the same time. There's our power piston. I'm interested to see if we can clean this up pretty good. These are actually, I would like to buy a new one, but they're actually very hard to find. So now we got all our pieces in there. We'll let that soak, like I said, for about 2 hours. We'll pull it out instantly, put it up here, and then we're just gonna squirt it down with some Spick and Span. Cuts through grease and grime. I'm just kind of interested to see what this will actually do for it. We'll take a small toothbrush after it soaks for about 10 minutes in a Spick and Span, get it all nice and wet, let it kind of break through some of that, and then we'll scrub it down with a wire brush or with a toothbrush, and we'll take some wires and poke out all the passages and all the holes, make sure everything's free, nothing's clogged up in it. Then we'll dip it into some water really good, rinse everything off, get all that vinegar off of it, all the Spick and Span off of it, and then we'll spray it down one final time with some carb and choke cleaner or something, and then we'll should be ready to air dry it, wipe her down, clean it out, blow it out, and it'll be ready for a rebuild. I got a rebuild kit coming. Should be here tomorrow, maybe the next day, and then we can finish this Carter Quadrajet. So y'all stay tuned. I'm gonna let that soak and we'll be back in a couple hours. Alright, it's been right around 2 hours, and you can see the water, or the vinegar actually, and how dirty it is. Looks like it's gotten quite a bit of junk off of these carburetors. And first thing I notice is all the green. Oh wow, it really did a job on this carburetor. Look at that. Actually cleaned it up pretty nice. First thing I notice is all the greenization that was on here, and the varnish of these rods, and the butterflies. Wow, really knocked all that off. So we're gonna rinse this off. Oh, look at here. I don't know if you remember before, I didn't show it real good I guess, but this was all rusted. This portion here, that was all rusted up. Wow, it really knocked that off pretty good. A little scrubbing, I bet I could get all that clean. So I'm gonna go ahead and dip this in water, splash it around real good, get all that vinegar off of here, and then we'll go to the next part with some Spick and Span, and then I'll brush it all real good with this toothbrush. Yeah, I got my sister's toothbrush. Always make sure you use your sister's toothbrush. She'll appreciate you in the long run. So we're gonna dip this into some water. I got a 5-gallon bucket over here with just nothing but water. We're just gonna splash it in there. Rinse that off real good. Get that vinegar off of there so it don't damage anything. Seems crazy putting a carburetor in water, huh? We don't want to let it sit there long though. Just splash it around a little bit. Now we got that. Well, she sure does look a lot better already. Now what I'm going to do is, let me go ahead and back y'all up a little bit, and then I'm going to splash it down with some Spick and Span and let it soak there for about, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes, and then I'm gonna start scrubbing it with this old brush, and see how clean we can get her. Now I'm just gonna splash it all, get it all good and drenched. We'll let that sit for a couple minutes. Flip it over here. Splash some on this side. And this will kill any COVID the carburetor may have received. Any bacteria or viruses. It'll make it smell like fresh lemons. And also cuts through grease and grime, but we're not after that. So we'll let that soak for about 2 minutes. Wow, it smells lemony. Lemony. Smells lemony. Yeah, lemony. Okay, we'll let that soak down. Now let's get this. Let's see what it did to our power piston. Well, all the green oxidization? I can't talk. English hard. Me English is hard. So the oxidization is off of here. Did a really good job on the oxidization. And she really looks a lot better. A little bit of scrubbing, I may be able to get these back to brass. Might need a little firmer brush. Yeah, that's a lot better than it was when it went in. So let's dip it into some water. Alright, now we got it dunked in water, splash it around, get all that vinegar juice off of it. Do it again. There we go. We'll spray that down with some Spick and Span as well. Cut through that grease and grime. Looks pretty good. Oop. Rod fell off. That's alright. Boy, these rods, they look a lot better. Look at that, haven't even scrubbed on them yet. All the oxidization is off of it. All the grease and grime is off of it pretty much for the most part. Haven't even scrubbed them yet. I can only imagine how much cleaner we can get it with a little elbow grease on it. Brackets looking good. So vinegar, wow. It's a heck of a lot cheaper than chemical dip or Berryman's or 5 cans of this carb and choke cleaner. I think I paid $2.99 for that gallon of vinegar. Let it soak for an hour and a half, 2 hours. Night and day difference already, and I haven't even really got to scrubbing on it yet. Now we got it rinsed off. We're going to soak that down too as well with some Spick and Span. I have no idea what this Spick and Span is going to do to it. Hopefully it'll turn it orange. I don't know. I'm just giving it a try. Something in my gut tells me, oh yeah, that's the way to go. So we're going to get to scrubbing on this carb just a little bit, not much. I'll tell you one thing, we had gaskets stuck on here. All the gaskets gone. Haven't even had to scrape it off or nothing. We're just going to scrub down on it a little bit like this. See what we can do for it. Then we're going to dip it back in the water again and rinse all this spick and span off of here. Really, really good. And then we'll go to dry it as quick as possible, so nothing corrodes or gets rusting, starts to rust. And then we'll air dry it, blow it out. And after we get it all dry and blown off, we'll blow all the passages out. We're going to take a little wire, go through all the little passages, all these rods. We're going to poke through it all, try to make sure nothing's clogged up, everything's clear and no obstructions anywhere. Then we're going to blow it, or we'll blow it off with some carb cleaner. Clean it one more time. There is a difference, man. That vinegar really did a job. I'm very impressed. First time I've ever done that. I've seen other people doing it. I've seen them use pine sol. I didn't happen to have any, so I went with the vinegar because it was already here. Man, I ain't even got to really scrub the top. It just looks great like it is already. I'm very pleased with the results. Very pleased. Had a little bit of grease on here, not much here and there, but it's all dissipated. It's all gone. I was very pleased with this, cleaning all that surface rust off of this bracket there. Man, I don't think I even need to do anything else. Look at that. Butterflies are nice. These rods though, very impressed with that compared to what it was. So I'm gonna go ahead and dip this in the water, and we're gonna spray it off with some carb cleaner. All right. Now, I could probably scrub it on a little more, but it's going to be a driver. It ain't show quality, so I'm very happy with it already as is. We're going to go ahead and dry this off a little bit, get a lot of this water off of here, and then I'll spray it down with some carb cleaner. I'm gonna go ahead and I don't even think I gotta scrub this anymore. I'm just gonna rinse these off as well and do the same thing to this in the power piston. Looks great. For 1979, these are original parts. I'm very, very, very impressed. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to keep it as original as possible. Power piston looks great compared to what it was before. I got a new seal coming, so I'm not worried about this little plastic seal here. We'll be popping that off, putting a new one on anyway. I may try to clean these up a little better with some scotch. No, I probably won't even do that. I don't want to scratch them or nothing. So we're going to let these dry. We're going to air dry them real quick. So I'm going to hook up my air compressor, blow this off, what we've got here, let that get dried. Then we'll go to the next one. And we'll be right back. Alright, we're back. We've air blowed all that dry. So the top horn is dry, the power piston. We're going to do this last part, pull it out, see what she looks like now. Wow. Now this had a lot of gasket stuck on the back of it. Try to get some of this vinegar off of here. This had a lot of gaskets stuck back here, and it pretty much ate it all off. So that's great. Clean the butterflies. We're gonna scrub on them a little more. But Vinegar really did a good job. Oh wow, look at here. Look how this looks. This was all surface rusted up. And she is back to metal, shiny. I am liking what we got here. Let's see what it looks like if I scrub on this butterflies a little bit. Oh yeah, stuff's just coming off. You can see the difference with just 20 seconds of scrubbing. This one compared to that one. A little bit of scrubbing all over here. We're going to be pretty clean, I'm very happy with the results of this vinegar. Again, I use straight white vinegar, distilled. Costs about $2.99 a gallon. I let it soak for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. And she has done me happy. I'm very pleased with the results. The very first time I cleaned this carburetor, it was filthy. And I did it the old school way. You know, brake cleaner, carb cleaner, scrubbing on it. Took several hours of non-stop just scrubbing her down, blowing it off, cleaning it, going through it the hard way. This, I just set it there for an hour and a half, 2 hours. I ain't got to touch it, and it pretty much done a better job than I did doing it by hand. So this is definitely the way to go. Look at that. Much better. Much better. I'm going to scrub here a little bit more with this vinegar. And then I'll dip it in water, rinse it off really good, agitate the water, you know. Get all that vinegar off of it, clean it off. I'll soak it down with some Spick and Span and let that sit and eat it off for a couple of minutes. Scrub on it a little bit more, and then dip that in the water, clean it, bring it out. We'll air blow it all dry. I'll show you here. Air horn's looking good. It's all air dried. Now that this is dry, I'll be spraying carb cleaner on this just everywhere. Then I'll wipe her down real good, blow it off real good with air, and then we'll go to cleaning all the passages and the airways and everything out with a wire. So that's where we are with the carb. I'm going to get busy on this and we'll bring y'all back for the results. Alright, so here's the middle portion of the carburetor. Much better. Go ahead and spray this down. I've already rinsed it off with some water. We're going to spray some Spick and Span on here so it won't catch COVID. Kills bacteria and viruses, makes it smell lemony, fresh. So we're going to do that. We'll let it sit for about 2 minutes and do its thing. Nice. Can't get enough Spick and Span in your life. While that soaks, I'm going to go ahead and spray this top horn down with some carb cleaner. I got a little bit in here I'm going to go ahead and use. So we're just going to spray this all over it. Give it one final clean. And we're going to be wiping all this down. Clean it a little bit that way. A little bit there I want to hit. Alright. Car cleaner to rinse all that off. Spray into there, get them in the passages. Now, this will be our final stage of cleaning, slapping it with some carb cleaner. Then we'll wipe all this down and blow it out with some more air. And we'll be pretty close to where we want to be. So let me go get a clean rag. I'll start wiping that down. We're going to take this, dip this in the water here in about a minute. Agitate the water real good, splash all that, get everything off of it, such as any vinegar, leftover residue, or the spick and span. Get rid of all that. Then we'll air dry this. Then we'll hit it with carb cleaner as well. So y'all stay tuned and we'll bring you back.
Cruising in my lane fast, call it high speed. I've been working hard, yeah, I've been working nightly. If you think you'll win, ha, not fucking likely. I be taking shots, yeah, cold-blooded, icy. Watching numbers grow is what I call sightseeing. In the front row, run it up when they hype me.